Hello everyone. Yeah, so this is another video log. You guys have been waiting a long time for it. Apparently, I've had many people saying, finally, there's another one coming. So yeah, it's right here, finally. Indeed. We have actually continued with a lot of things without actually making a lot of videos about it, because we just wanted to work continuously without taking breaks too much. And actually that worked out quite well. And we've been working like about 3 days. Well, not straight 3 days, so no, not constantly working, taking breaks though. We did actually take breaks, drink some beer, stuff like that. But yeah, we did come far. Normally there's no sawing or drilling holes, or no use of the Dremel is needed anymore. Everything is done. Perhaps only the feet that we want to make, we're going to make those out of wood. Even though you're not gonna see that eventually. We just gotta find a good piece of wood for that still, and that's the only sawing that will happen. Next to that, everything has finished, and yeah, so what we've done is we've taken the case apart, as you can see. So this is the biggest part of the case that's left in one piece, so that's a main frame. So yeah, what we've done is we drilled out all the Dremel bits. Oh, sorry, what did I say, Dremel bits? We drilled out all the rivets, exactly the rivets, and we've taken the case apart like that in all separate pieces, all possible pieces that we could take it apart, and we sanded them all down, and then we started putting primer on them. As you can see, this is not the final paint finish, of course. This is just the first or second layer of primer that you see. There are some, well, you're not going to do much more than just 1 or 2 layers. It seems like it's enough. We find it enough, but I'm gonna do some or redo some areas in some cases. Like right here, I didn't get to put the primer on decently yet. So because of the angles, if the thing is still wet, you can't really start turning it in every angle. So I gotta do that angle there. Same with the case here. There's some angles that perhaps need to get some redoing. Also, there were a couple of drops forming here because we sprayed too close, probably. So I had to sand those out, file those out again, and that'll be needed to be redone. And yeah, then we have the motherboard tray here. We have standoffs on this thing, but they don't come off, so we had to tape them down. But that's no problem, of course. That's been done also, just 1 layer, but that's enough, I think. It's gonna be painted black, so yeah. This side hasn't been done yet, so we gotta clean this area because there's a lot of dust on it right now, and then paint that as well. So that's something I might do today or tomorrow, or whenever I've got some time left. And then when Thomas comes, we can put the case together, or no, sorry, we can't put the case together yet. We'll have to put the final layer of paint on it. Now, also, what we have right here is a frame. I have finished that, and as you can see, the holes here weren't real. There's something wrong here with holes, because when we drilled, we noticed an issue, which we did fix eventually, and at the end we had to Dremel out a couple of holes, so we drilled these smaller than the 8mm screw that we're going to put in, and then we had to Dremel these out because we weren't able to make an exact hole in this frame. But yeah, we learned this is our very first mod ever, so you have to take that into account. So this frame hasn't yet been painted. That's because I was actually putting some body filler on this. Filling up a couple of holes here and there. The edges here needed some filling up, as well as a big hole right here, and I still need to fill this hole up. Perhaps this little bit here, and this hole also needs some filling up. I'm going to do that right now, or when I finish filming at least. And then I can paint that as well. Doesn't need much sanding, a little bit, but not much. So I'm gonna put this on in a second on the side panel, because we can actually do that. I did take some pictures of that already, because we did finish the acryl, and it fits perfectly. So this is the matte acryl that will go on the frame right there, together with the side panel, for our cable management system that I've designed. So yeah, that's the panel. You got the 4 holes in there. You gotta imagine that there's gonna be these kind of screws in there. So with the bolts right here, just like on the front panel, but these are smaller. But we're gonna be putting these screws in there, so eventually we're gonna have 4 screws like that in these holes. Of course, this is still protected. The protective film is still on this, so take note of that. And also, I think I'm gonna just make these edges a little round. I'm not sure exactly how round, but just a little at least, because now it seems to me that it is just a little bit too sharp or a bit too edgy, so might make it a little rounder, just like that, not more. Perhaps that's gonna look a lot better. Alright, I'm gonna put that on in a second. First of all, I gotta show you guys something. We ran into a problem with the top panel, and you might notice it already. Right here, it's not even, and it doesn't even look very white as the other parts. So what happened here is that on the bottom, so this has been painted though, you can see that there are a couple of Dremel, how do you say that? Alright, sorry. You can see on the bottom here that there are a couple of Dremel cuts, but there was actually one more needed, and we kind of didn't do that because we didn't think it was necessary yet. But right here, where you see a little hole, yeah, what happened is that we made a hole of less than a millimeter, like half a millimeter, in the top panel. And of course that was a little bit annoying. That wasn't supposed to happen. So what we did was, we went out and bought some body filler. And actually I need some body filler for the wood here. And we bought some body filler that could fill up that hole. So actually this is very flat right now. But it's not yet painted. I did put the body filler on here, but this hasn't been painted exactly like it should yet. Though the rest has been painted. So that's also something I gotta redo a little. It's been sanded down now, so I can do that quite easily. So yeah, there are problems that we ran into from time to time. We also needed more primer, so I did buy another can of primer, or we went out, when we bought the body filler, we bought another can of primer. You know, stuff like that happens first, certainly with your first PC mod. The only mod that I've done before is a small fan mod to install a 120mm fan instead of 2 80mm fans, and a small window mod, and that's all my, well, as far as my modding experience has gone before starting this. And Thomas didn't really do any mods at all in the first place. So actually I think we're going quite well with this. So right here is also the acrylic for the window. So that's actually gonna be going behind this. So we're just gonna be using the side panel, and all that we're gonna do is we're gonna put some Scotch clear mounting tape, that double-sided mounting tape, on the back side here. Then we can, you know, put it on the side panel, and we're gonna leave it like that. No U-channeling, nothing like that, just very clean. Because we wanna have a sleek look, though not exactly that sleek as, like, you know, Apple's Macs. You know, not that kind of sleek. Just a little sleeker, but with some accents. That's why we use those screws. You know, it kind of looks a little bit different than just sleek. Alright, and then we have the front panel, that's also been painted. You can see the nerves of the wood though, and I don't mind that actually. This is also just primer, so the darker spots are probably going to be gone when we finish this. I'm also going to put one more layer of primer on this, I think, just because it's the wood frame, because it does need some primer in some places. But yeah, eventually there's just going to be a little bit of a color difference when you have shadow, I think. So that's going to be nice, in my opinion. And Thomas also said it's probably going to look nice. I think it has some kind of, and this is maybe looking a bit too far, but perhaps it looks a little like brushed aluminum when it's going to be finished, but no, it's probably not brushed aluminum, it's just wood, but yeah. And then finally, right here, and yes, these are train lines, something we did when we were kids. Yeah, these are the PCI brackets. They're gonna be white. This is also just the primer layer, but yeah, I did find some old PCI brackets, so these are all old ones from different cases. I think there's 2 different ones in here, but the shape is all the same. So we sanded those down and we primered them, and they look really nice now. So yeah, eventually they're gonna be white, and when the frame of the case here is gonna be black, it's gonna make a nice accent in the back there. So yeah, that's probably it for the update right now. If you have any suggestions, comments, questions, leave them in the comment area, and I'll be answering them as usual. I'm just thinking really quick if there is anything I didn't say. And yes, indeed, there was something I almost forgot. So I quickly made the frame here like it should be on the side panel. So this is actually the entire setup for the cable management on the side panel that we all planned to make. So that is actually it. So this is without paint, of course. The product film is still on the acrylic right here, and these edges might be round in the end. But yeah, that is actually what's gonna be looking like, kind of. And as you can see, there's a lot of room now between the motherboard tray and the side panel. It's like about an inch of space that we actually created, and you can imagine that we're gonna be able to route a lot of cables now instead of whatever we could have routed before, because we didn't even have half a centimeter of space for that. So that's actually what it's gonna be looking like. So that's the back side right there, and this is the front. So yeah, I think that looks quite okay. The frame is gonna be black, the side panel is gonna be white, and this is of course matte white. Will there be LEDs behind this matte acrylic? Well, probably not, or maybe. We have about 1 meter of LED cable, which has about 12 LEDs in it. So that's a cable from NZXT. I'm not sure how we're gonna route that exactly. Maybe we'll have some LEDs running through this part then, but I'm not really sure about that, and I don't think that's actually going to be the case, because it's not a long cable, and you have about 12 LEDs, so if it's not long enough, I'm gonna run through this and end up having only one part lit, or it's gonna not gonna look nice. So probably there's gonna be no LEDs here unless we buy some more if we really need to. But of course we're not gonna try to put the budget up too high for this. But yeah, that's it. That's the ID worked out. As you can see, looks quite okay. I think it's gonna look interesting on the case. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys know what we're doing right now, certainly with the cable management system right here. And I'll see you guys in another video, update video perhaps, or another video. So see you guys then.